usually okay, but 4 is the hardest finger.
What is a Hayato Sumino breakfast?
You're curious about it?
They're curious. They would love to.
Avocado toast.
How would you describe how you shape your technique?
Let me explain with yeah.
No, let's get to it!
Yeah.
You're probably wondering, how did this happen? How did I end up here? Well, in this video, watch as I show you everything.
Holy forever. Yeah. Holy forever. Holy forever.
So, we're here backstage at the Chicago Symphony Center.
Each year, CYSO recognizes here we are pleased to honor Jahari Stampley.
Chicago! Wow. Like in almost all these rooms, they've got different pianos. These are all like, these are dressing rooms, like orchestra rehearsal kind of vibes. I haven't been here a long time though. Like, we used to do rehearsals with the youth orchestra. So we would do stuff.
I'm doing well.
Amazing.
I'm surprised to see you here, but I'm glad to see you here. Congrats again, and good to see you.
Man, thank you.
Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, likewise. This is the director of Symphony Orchestra of Chicago. Wow! Bro, that was so...
Yeah, I just arrived before yesterday. I just practiced all day yesterday. I wish I could enjoy more of the city, but yesterday I went to the Art Institute of Chicago.
Oh, cool.
It was so cool.
Good to see you again. We are rolling. Suhaib.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. That's okay. Yeah.
We've been doing this kind of venture where we got different artists that we love, like Herbie Hancock. I just finished a Rick Beato interview. So we've just been going around the world and just interview different artists. They're super inspiring.
It's a pleasure to be part of that.
Dude.
Wow, after Harvey.
Dude, well,
Oh my god.
Dude, well, it's a pleasure to like even be here, you know, like you're literally so inspiring, man, and just seeing
Thank you.
seeing your first time coming to, this is your first America kind of tour, right?
Yeah,
Headlining.
I just started having concert basically this season.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so last month I had my first recital in West Coast at Stanford and Fresno as well. And this is my recital.
This is the third. Yeah, I know. That's the hunger, yeah. I know you've performed in Japan often and in other parts of the world, but as you're coming to America and performing here, I'm sure maybe you've noticed some differences maybe in the audience or the way it feels like this. Has there been a difference in how it feels to play here versus in Japan where you've started? How does it feel to perform on stage in America? Like, does it make you more nervous to have a different audience?
Of course, it is very different. In America, audience are more reactive. They,
Yeah.
they
They're
shout. Oh my God! And I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. And I feel like I when I play in America, I feel like I have to be more communicative with the audience. That's how musicians are supposed to be. I don't know how you think, but compared to other continent like in Asia or in Europe, especially classical music industry, people are more tend to be just focusing on the music and don't try to communicate with the audience. But here, as far as I experienced, not just me, but also other American musicians, American conductors, they're trying to explain and communicate with the audience, which I think really, really important. So I'm not kind of talkative person, but at least I wanna feel what the audience feel.
Yeah, I noticed like that when I perform in Japan, I feel the same where people are much more attentive and quiet, and it makes me more nervous.
Oh, yeah.
I feel more exposed, like you said, you feel more naked on stage. I think I feel that way when I'm in Japan performing sometimes because they can be more attentive and very quiet, but then at the end they're very loud, and they're like, "Oh my God, arigatou gozaimasu. This is very good," and they're just so expressive afterwards.
They're just the difference of expression, the way of expression. They're very concentrating on listening to music, and
They will, right at the end they will scream, and now this is your third tour. Do you ever get fatigued, tired after performing solo piano? I know for me, playing straight 2 hours solo piano, I'm sure night after night after night, do you find yourself fatigued or just tired by the middle of the tour or even towards the end, or have you found a way to keep your stamina pretty high? How do you handle that for you?
Until last year, I never thought about anything about that kind of thing, but recently, since I'm traveling a lot, I have to deal with jet lag, long distance traveling, which is more exhausting than the performances itself. Working out. I was not morning person, but I became morning person more recently to have having breakfast, good balanced breakfast, and especially when I'm touring, it's hard to think about what to eat. We can easily miss a meal when I'm practicing performing, but it is very important to keep energy in my body, our bodies. So I'm being careful about it, and sleep a lot, of course.
And you mentioned breakfast. I'm sure people would love to know, what is a breakfast that you would get for yourself? What is a Hayato Sumino breakfast?
Curious about it?
They're curious. They would love to.
champion.
We want to be able to play like that one day. We look up to you. So we want to be like you when we grow up. So what can we eat to play like?
Avocado toast.
Avocado toast.
I'm so obsessed with it recently. I was born and grew up in Japan, so I of course like Japanese breakfast. But in America or in Europe, it's not easy to get sometimes. Avocado, it's so easy to get everywhere. And it's so good. I love avocado.
Avocado toast, guys.
Avocado toast.
That's what you need to play like Hayato Sumino.
Avocado toast with eggs.
With eggs.
And then we can cover protein,
fats,
carbs.
And do you avoid sugar or just in terms of drinks? Is it coffee, water?
I drink coffee, but not that much. I'm not a fan of sweet food, but I just love fruits. I eat fruits a lot, and I hope it's good for my health. What? How about you?
Man, I skip breakfast, to be honest, especially when I'm jet lagged. When I was in China or when I'm in Japan, it's kind of the same thing. I totally agree with the jet lag. Just a lot of times it's not even the performing that's the hardest part. It's just feeling tired because your time zone, your body is flipped. And for you, oh my gosh, you have to play solo. But at the same time, you just flew in from Japan or wherever, you know, and your body is just like, where am I right now? And I totally, like, I think sometimes it's hard for me to remember when to eat sometimes, what you said, because it's almost like I'm so focused on sleep more than food. A lot of times when I go to Asia, I just pretty much sleep until sound check, and then I might eat lunch more than breakfast. I don't know if that's the healthiest choice. It's definitely something I'm still learning. I haven't quite toured as much overseas as I have in the last year. So it's kind of new for me too. So I feel the same thing. It's something I'm figuring out. Maybe I'll try avocado toast. maybe that's what I need. That's what we needed all along.
Yes, I used to be the same. I never ate breakfast when I was mid-20s.
Yeah. And man, I wrote down, this was a question I had for you. I think your touch and your tone are very distinctive. And I wonder, I'm sure a lot of people would love to know, how consciously do you craft your sound? And what do you think are the techniques that shape your sound? Or do you have any techniques, or is it something natural that comes to you? How would you describe how you shape your technique?
Let me explain with
So exclusive. Oh my God.
Wow.
Really?
I don't know. My very first teacher, after my mom, when I was 6, I started learning under her. She's now 85 years old, but still my great teacher. And she always taught me when I was an elementary school student and how important that each finger is being independent, meaning each finger you can move each finger without moving any other fingers. So that you will be able to play even. Especially that 2 or 3 are usually okay, but 4 is the hardest finger. So I played Chopin's Opus 10 No. 1 today as an encore. The basic requirement is you will be able to play every note evenly before you try to make a dynamics and expression technically. And technically your force is likely to be weak. So I use the plastic a lot like this.
Oh, yeah. So basically,
And more basically, I always start practicing with this.
So basically, you're putting more pressure onto these specific fingers to get more of like a emphasis on your attack for these fingers.
And when you touch the keys, your finger has to have a certain amount of speed most of the time, not always. When you want to have a crystal clear, brilliant kind of sound, then basically what's happening inside is the hammer hit the strings, right?
Yeah.
And it's wooden. The shank, it's called shank. I don't know how to explain in English. It's made by wood, so it's I think hitting ball with
like
bat.
a baseball.
Maybe you can imagine that. So not like this, but
It strikes against the string.
if you have that imagination, then you will be able to play how to make it sound clear.
I see.
And then it shouldn't be like it's like hitting balls, but keep pushing the balls.
It's like you're forcing the pressure of the ball.
It's okay to play like that as
Depending
long
on
as
the
you
context.
depending
The
on
context.
what you need. But something like Mozart, for example, very colorful, bright, light sound will be preferable.
And so you say you started at the age of 6.
I started playing piano at the age of 3, and I
Age of
started
3.
learning under her,
At the age of
my teacher.
And if you were to just give an estimate, people ask me this too, but how many hours did you practice every day on average? Starting out, what amount of time would you spend practicing the piano?
Recently, or when I was a kid?
Maybe both.
Maybe both. Now, since it became my job, I literally spending almost all the time, over my time,
Wow.
in front of piano as long as I can. Yesterday was like that. I was
You were practicing.
practicing all day from 10 to 8,
Oh,
except going to museum or having lunch.
Wow, really? So even now on tour you practice?
But if you think about 9 to 6 job, people work 8 hours per day.
Per day,
And for me as a pianist, my work is playing piano, so
Yeah.
it makes sense to practice 7 hours per day.
Wow. And do you find that even during jet lag moments, describe jet lag when you come here and your body is so tired, you still practice?
It's good to wake up in the morning and being exposed under the sun and drink coffee, even 1 to 2 hours in the morning. And you can have a nap after lunch.
Avocado toast.
Avocado toast, yes. Very important.
Amazing, man. And wow, thank you for demonstrating. Wow. And I have another question as a pianist.
Yes.
I know that you travel with the same piano when you perform. They always have the same piano for you? No. So it's different touch every time.
That's the difficult part of being pianist. But are you traveling with piano? Only keyboard, maybe?
Only keyboard. Only person I know that travels with their piano is Herbie. And I always think Hiromi too, actually. I wonder though, for classical piano, for you to play on a different piano every night, is it different every night?
Yes. Wow. So sometimes if the piano is something I don't like, then it will be very, very difficult.
Has there ever been a moment where you try the piano and you're like, no, I need another one?
But I
You can't do that.
I cannot do that.
That's crazy.
Like if I'm the 70-year-old maestro, then maybe
Right, yeah.
I'm allowed to say that. But
Wow, man.
let's say if you go to a new city, you'll be playing there for the first time, and you have to manage with the piano.
So this piano you played tonight was different than all the other pianos.
Of course, different. But I like the piano. It's Hamburg Steinway, and the touch is quite beautiful and colorful. And at the same time, the bass has strong sound,
presence. Yeah.
which I love it.
Travels. Wow. Amazing, man. Your piano arrangements.
Yes.
So you compose.
Yes.
And how long have you been composing?
I was improvising, making arrangements since I was young for fun.
For fun.
It was, but not like serious composing. I think I started composing 5 to 6 years ago. 22, 23, 24. Because I love improvisation, doing improvisation and making arrangements. At some point I felt like, why not composing?
Right. So you were always interested in jazz and improvising. I used to see your stuff on YouTube, just your covers tried on a classical piece or making a jazz arrangement. Do you find that people in the world of classical music, I know they can be very strict. Do you ever find that people are not happy with improvising over classical music, or do people tend to enjoy that, or?
So it's kind of surprising for me that people actually enjoy and appreciate what I'm doing all over the world. A few years ago, I didn't really expect that because I would play in Germany, the center of classical music, and I do improvisation on Twinkle Twinkle, and people loved it. But of course, I don't want to improvise on Beethoven sonatas.
Yeah.
It depends on the context, but in general, I think people can do improvisation more in classical music industry. I mean, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, everybody used to improvise, making arrangement of famous opera aria or whatever. So
amazing, man. Well, maybe we can end it. Maybe you and I could improvise on something. Maybe we could play. I don't know. We could jam out and and wrap up this amazing interview with the one and only, wow, Hayato.
Thank you. My honor.
It is my honor, you know. Hopefully, next we can do you and Hiromi or you and Herbie together.
Oh my
we
God.
all play We can all get together and make some musical magic. Amazing. Well, maybe I'll start with something and we can play back and forth and see what happens. I don't know. I kind of like what you were playing. The damper pedal is cool too. Let's modulate.
Alright, guys, we gotta call it.
Okay.